Hello, my name is Tracy Allen, and I want to welcome you to Cooking with Some Friends.
Hello and welcome to Cooking with Some Friends. We're going to make today some chocolate chip cookie sandwiches, and we're taking these to my granddaughter. Not to say we won't eat some of them, but whenever she has a sporting event, she kind of now expects me to take her something. So anyway, so that's what we're going to make today. So I have, to start with, 1 cup of butter that I've melted, and I'm going to put that in my bowl. And to that I'm going to add half a cup of granulated sugar, and I'm going to add some brown sugar, 1 1/4 cups of brown sugar, and I'm going to beat these together. If that wasn't melted, I'd say cream together, but now that those are mixed together, I'm going to add 2 eggs. My eggs are at room temperature. And 1 1/2 teaspoons of vanilla. I'm going to set that mixture aside. And then I'm going to show you my dry ingredients that go in here. In my bowl, I have 3 cups of all-purpose flour. And to that, I want to add 1 teaspoon of baking soda and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Mix those together. Once those are mixed together, I'm going to add this to my butter mixture just until it's well incorporated. Okay, now that my dough is ready, I'm going to take about 3/4, and I have a heaping 3/4 cup of mini chocolate chips, and add those. I'm going to use my cookie scoop and form these into about 20 cookies and put those on my baking sheet on some parchment and put these in the refrigerator for about 20 minutes, because as you can see, it's a really soft dough, so it needs to sit up some. And while they're in the refrigerator, I'll go ahead and show you my frosting that's going to be between the 2 cookies. I don't know why I'm pounding on that instead of using my spatula. So I want to get my cookie sheet. And form these into about 20 even-sized cookies. I'll keep doing that and then just put them in the fridge. So our cookies are in the refrigerator cooling, and now it's time to make the frosting that's going to go between the cookies. So I've taken 2 sticks of butter and creamed those. They were at room temperature. And to that, I'm going to go ahead and add 1 cup of brown sugar, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla. I have 3 tablespoons of whole milk. And then I'm also going to put in about 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. Now, if you use salted butter, I'm using unsalted butter. If you use salted butter, you can skip the salt in both the cookie recipe and in the frosting recipe. If you're using unsalted butter, you want to add a little bit of salt. So I'm going to go ahead and beat this for 8 minutes. Now, if you're using your stand mixer, you can just walk away from it and let it beat for 8 minutes. I'm using my hand mixer because I've got the time. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this, and I'll beat it for 8 minutes, and then I'll come back. So our buttercream for our frosting, as you can see, is light and looks great. So now I'm going to add a couple more things and then beat this for another 3 minutes. I'm gonna put in some flour, and I've read some studies because some recipes call for you to heat flour to kill the bacteria. And you would heat it in a microwave safe bowl for 90 seconds. But most studies agree that it really doesn't do a whole lot of good at killing bacteria. So if you feel like you need to microwave for 60 to 90 seconds, then you go right ahead and do that. But anyway, I'm gonna put in my 3/4 cup of flour. And I'm also going to add some powdered sugar, about 1/2 cup. And I'm gonna beat this mixture for 3 more minutes. Our icing is ready to go into my piping bag, and I've got that with the tip on it down in a cup so I can fill this. And then I'm going to go ahead and refrigerate this while my cookies bake. So I'm gonna put my cookies on parchment on a cookie sheet about 2 inches apart and bake them in a preheated oven at 350 degrees for about 15 to 18 minutes. So once I have those baked, I will come back and show you our steps that come next. Get all my icing. It sure helps having a big cup or something like that that you can put your piping bag in to hold this while you're filling. Size it up. Go ahead and close this up and refrigerate until my cookies are ready. Okay, once your cookies cool completely on the cookie sheet, and they need to finish baking on the cookie sheet once you remove them from the oven, they'll be a little doughy at that point. So just leave them on there, let them cool completely. At that point, I put some of my buttercream icing on each, one side of each one, and then I'm going to gently press those together. And then I have about 1/2 cup of chocolate chips, the mini chocolate chips that I reserved, that I will go ahead and press those into the icing that you can see around the edges. And I'll just keep doing this until all my cookies are iced and coated. And that's what they look like when they're done.
Thanks for joining us for this session of Cooking with Some Friends. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And find us on Facebook at Cooking with Some Friends.